This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
Yes, it
This is the
is.
Big O Show.
We are rocking. We are rolling. We are ready on a beautiful Valentine's Day out here at Hialeah Park. We're at the poker room. I love it when we open up and everybody looks over like, what
You only-
the
you only
hell
s-
is going on over
You only
there?
startled 3 people today.
Just only a couple.
The other, most of them are used to
Well,
it.
we're lucky because the table right next to us is empty. And so the one just to the left of it is the one that's full. The rest of the place is full, but the one right next to us, when it's full and we come on, we freak them out.
Oh,
every
yeah.
single time.
Every time.
Yep, exactly. So we are started here, and we are awaiting AJ De La Garza, defender for Inter Miami. He's going to join us now, so we'll have a little fun with him. We'll talk a little soccer here, and we'll have a little fun with AJ De La Garza. Which tomorrow, by the way, I and Bill we're going up to St. Pete to go see the boys play their first public game ever. There's no way I'm missing that. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things that when I heard about this, I go, well, wait a minute. I got to be there, man. This is our first opportunity to see our team. I want to see what they look like. And AJ De La Garza, defender, he's been in this league for several years. He's going to join us now so we could talk a little Inter Miami. So we'll start this segment with talking a little football here on the program, which is a beautiful thing, having a little football action here. So we'll have some fun with AJ right now. And we'll talk a little football right now with AJ. Are we ready with Mr. De La Garza? Do we have him? All right, we are getting ready for AJ. AJ, by the way, has been in the league for several years, won a few titles with the Galaxy. You could follow him on Twitter at AJD_20. That's where I'm following him on Twitter. He is from Bryan's Road, Maryland, and also from Guam, okay? So he obviously has been in this league for several years, has had a lot of success. So he's bringing a lot of success and experience to Inter Miami.
We got AJ for you, brother.
AJ is ready to rock. AJ, welcome aboard, my brother. How you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me, guys.
Oh, man, I am absolutely psyched. I'm going to get into the car tomorrow morning. I'm going to drive up to St. Pete to see you guys play. So how you feeling right now, man?
It's been a long coming for you guys. And me personally, I feel good. This is obviously a new team, but we have a coach who is very detailed in his style, and I just think it's great, especially from where I've come from. So I'm excited about this year for sure.
What's the hardest thing right now, AJ, in trying to find that chemistry to start the season? Because obviously you guys are still getting to know each other.
Yeah, I mean that just takes time and reps, and you can't really emulate any game situations in training. And we've had a couple obviously training games, but obviously the real tests are coming soon, and we'll learn you on the fly for sure. But we have a group of guys though who are very experienced in the league and outside of the league, so I think we are very dangerous, and that people may not know who we are early on in the season. So hopefully we catch some people off guard too.
When I go up there tomorrow in St. Pete, how are you guys playing the game? Are you still kind of working through things and figuring out lineups and those kind of things? Or is it more of a team that right now is a little bit more settled than what I would even imagine? You tell me.
I think he has his guys that he pictures being in there, but obviously things change and everyone's still finding their spot and their groove of things. And yeah, it's still a work in progress, but we're a team that wants to play out of everything. So we want to play attractive football and moving the ball and be a team that has the ball. And when we lose that ball, we counter press and really get after teams.
A.J. De La Garza joining us here on the Big O Show. And, of course, you can catch him on the field, on the pitch tomorrow, taking on Philadelphia. Follow him on Twitter at AJD_20. AJ, you can tell that the way they structured the roster, there's young guys and then there's veterans with a lot of experience to kind of be the guys that guide here. You and, Will Trapp and Robles, and, I could just go on, but there's a group of guys, and what's the responsibility for you guys as the elder statesmen on the team?
Yeah, we got a lot of guys that have won in this league, whether it be Open Cup, Supporter Shield, MLS Cup. So for the older guys, just guide the younger players along, and even the guys from outside of MLS, just making sure they adapt well into the league and kind of understand how this league is different than the leagues they've come from.
What is different to you from the MLS that some of the guys have to adjust to?
It could be a lot more physical than other leagues, and where some guys come from South America, where it's maybe more technical. Here you got to kind of dig your foot into the ground sometimes and grind out a win. Sometimes it might not be pretty, but that's just how this league is. And if you want to reach your end goal at the end of the year, there's going to be some dirty games. So, I think just the physicality of things.
All right, AJ. So who's the guy that's leading in the pranks? Who's the guy playing jokes on everybody in the locker room right now? Who's the guy you can't trust?
Lee Nguyen. 100%.
Really?
Yeah. Every time he says something, we know he's lying. So.
All right. So he's just full of like all kinds of whoppers, like stories that are just whoppers, or is he physically playing jokes on anybody out there?
No physical jokes, just a bunch of lying fibs. You could say he likes to talk out of his butt.
Okay. All right. No, yeah. That saying always sounds better in Spanish, but I got you. So give me some of the whoppers that Lee has laid on you guys.
Oh man, I can't even tell you, to be honest.
Yeah, they're not for family purposes right now. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, that's gotta stay in.
Okay, all right.
I'm just kidding.
So he's telling.
I just don't remember. Literally anything he ever says is just a lie.
Right. So he's telling you that he's banging Halle Berry on the side or something like that, right? Is that what he's doing?
Yeah, not like that, but he could make that up too.
Yeah, there you go. I like it. So, Is there a guy out there playing the physical jokes on people out there? Because I know the veterans got to do something to the young guys. You know what I mean? Kind of break them in a little bit.
Yeah. Nothing physical. Sometimes I slap Dylan Nealis on the back of his neck. Sometimes, as he's sitting right in front of me right now and smiling. So. Nothing too physical. Just, I guess if you lose in soccer tennis, you got to go butts up in the goal, and everyone gets to kick a soccer ball at you. So that's probably the only physical thing we have here.
Well, AJ, I got some spy reports that say that the chemistry. Okay, maybe you guys are kind of figuring everything out on the pitch, which is normal at this point. You guys are probably not going to figure each other out till halfway through the season. But my point is, I hear the chemistry off the pitch is fantastic. That guys are really getting along and hanging with each other and having fun. Is that true?
Yeah, I think so. We're all in a hotel together for the last 4 weeks, so it's almost forced. But then at the same time, you have free time, and guys, still want to hang out with each other and go to dinners and all that stuff. So this is where it has to start, really, in the hotels, and then that'll translate onto the pitch, and then obviously over time, building that chemistry and on the pitch will obviously take games.
All right, you didn't get nailed with a snorer in your room, right? Somebody just that kind of stuff. Is that happening at all in your room?
I've heard of Lee Wynn snoring, but I have a roommate right now. So.
Okay, all right. All right,
I've had some good roommates though.
All right, but you and I know Lee is really lying about snoring. He's just snoring, fake snoring. You know what I'm saying?
Just making it up, yeah.
Right.
I don't even know if it's real.
Right, exactly. All right, so you got Philadelphia tomorrow. You're an MLS veteran. Walk us rookies through this league. What do we expect from Philadelphia tomorrow? When I see on the pitch tomorrow, what am I expecting from Philadelphia against you guys?
Oh man, I think there's been so much turnover in this league. I'm not even sure. Yeah, but no, I know they have obviously Bedoya and the work rate he has and how effective he is and the leader of that team. But they've lost quite a few guys, and Fafa Pico and Trusty in the central defense, and but they still have a lot of veterans and very skillful guys like Elsinho, probably one of the most skillful guys in the league. So a team that did really well last year, and I'm not too sure how they'll look this year yet. But obviously we're in preseason, so we're figuring everyone else out, and I haven't really had a scouting report on them too much yet.
AJ, something that's got to go through your mind like the rest of us, the owner of your team, his name is, well, besides Jorge Mas, but I'm talking about David Beckham. Is there a part of you that when you see him, you say, like, how in the hell did the good Lord give him all the damn looks, and what happened to me? You know, that kind of stuff. Is there any part of you that says that when you see David Beckham walk by?
Nah, because I played with him for 4 years, so I saw him when he was younger too. So we're obviously in different roles now, and just excited to be back with him and obviously have him or have me represent him in this team.
So what's the exciting part for you of being able to be not just with Beckham, but be here in Miami with Inter Miami and starting this right now? What's the exciting part about it for you?
I think you can ask any player. Just as if everyone could come here, they would. So that's the first thing. And then you have the facilities and the ownership that's going to give you everything possible to achieve your goals. I think that's really hard to pass up. And now at the end of my career, all I want to do is win and be on a winning team and enjoy where I'm playing. And I think South Florida is going to be a special place for that, just from the facilities and the fan base that's already been built, and we haven't even played our first game. So, looking forward to this year for sure.
Yeah, I think it's got to be exciting for you. And I know that you've you when you say everybody wants to come here, is there a little oomph to what you guys are doing? Because I think out of all the MLS teams, and I know this team just started, but because of David, I think you have the bigger international brand in this country. When it comes to all the MLS teams, I think your team is the one that's going to cross the ponds, and people are going to pick it up a little bit more than all the other teams. Do you guys sense that too?
Yeah, I think you do. And then, of course, you have an owner who's more famous than any player I've actually himself, and obviously an ambassador for football in South Florida, and building his team. And you've seen that he's connected through FaceTime with a couple guys, and maybe can convince Pizarro a little bit to come here. So, obviously a guy that is well respected in the game, and who wouldn't want to come to South Florida and Miami and play for him and his team.
That's going to be awesome. AJ, I'll let you go with this. AJ De La Garza, defender for Inter Miami. Follow him on Twitter at AJD_20. You've won a few MLS titles, but you also won the U.S. Open Cup in 2018 with Houston. I'm just wondering, because those are the two biggest soccer titles in this country, outside of obviously winning the World Cup. But what's the difference? Because both have to be a great feeling to accomplish both, because going through the U.S. Open Cup, I mean, you're all the teams in the country are in it, so it's like an FA Cup. You know, what's the difference as a player when you're celebrating those two titles?
I think obviously the MLS Cup is what everyone wants at the end of the year, and obviously the U.S. Open Cup gets you in the Champions League, though, so put your team on an international stage. But I think if anyone could pick one, they're picking MLS Cup any day of the week, because Open Cup is sometimes for MLS teams it's a lose-lose situation, to be honest. Like you're playing USL teams or amateur teams, or even amateur teams, and then you're expected to win those games. So when you win, they're like, okay, you're expected to win, whatever. And then if you lose those games, they make a huge deal out of it. So it's a lose-lose situation there. But yeah, you got to perform and do well, because it's a knockout stages, just like MLS Cup is now. But it's just in the middle of the season, and I think most teams use their second team for most games, and until they make it well into the U.S. Open Cup. But I think I'll take many more MLS Cups if I could.
No doubt about it. I can imagine, but it's got to be a pretty cool thing to win the U.S. Open Cup because of all you got to go through, and it's got to be pretty special, because it takes a couple months to kind of get that whole thing done. So it's pretty special. AJ, hey, thank you for taking some time, my man. I look forward to seeing you guys take the pitch tomorrow, and maybe we'll track you down a little bit tomorrow. Appreciate that, man.
All right, guys. You have a good one.
You got it, baby.
Travels.
Be good. Thank you. You got it. AJ De La Garza, defender for Inter Miami, which I guarantee you we're the first people to have an Inter Miami player on, period. I don't think any other English outlet on radio or us. No dice. They definitely have not had that there. So that's pretty cool, AJ, joining us on the program here. And I'm looking forward to it tomorrow, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. Getting in the car tomorrow morning, heading out to St. Pete. I've always wanted to go see a game over at what's it called? What's the name of the stadium now? I'm forgetting the damn stadium.
The one that's right on the water, you said.
Yeah. I'm not expecting you to know it, but I should know it, because damn it, I should know these things. And I don't know why I'm
said it the other day with Michelle.
I've said it 1,000 times, bro. I know it inside and out, and I just can't remember now the damn name of the stadium off the top of my head here.
All right, Mr. Brain Fart.
Where the Tampa Bay Rowdies play. It's such a cool stadium, right on the water and all that, and I've been dying to check out a game there.
Here.
And see how they do it.
When I was probably 6, 7 years old. Played my first soccer season, and do you remember David Cabrera from Hialeah? His dad, Pete Cabrera.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera was in the Optimus program with my dad and everything. He was my first soccer coach, and we were actually over in Tampa for a Optimus convention for the state.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. Cabrera was in charge of, entertainment for the kids, this, that, and they had a film of the Tampa Bay Rowdies. And it was post a championship year, or, they did really well. And, of course, I don't think that we had the strikers yet. I don't remember exactly, but obviously played my first soccer season. Here's my soccer coach presenting this film. And out the blocks, I was green and gold Tampa Bay Rowdy.
Yep. Yeah. Wow. That's cool.
Because of seeing that film.
That's awesome, man.
And, of course, it didn't hurt that my soccer coach, of course, is presenting the film,
Yeah. That's awesome.
So I'm going to the stadium where they played. I'm going back to
Right.
my origin of my soccer roots tomorrow, man. This is
Nice.
actually kind of
Nice.
cool,
It's
man.
it's actually a really cool stadium, and they do a really good job with the Rowdies, and the Rowdy fans do a really good job of supporting it. I know that they were trying to get an MLS team and haven't been able to, but I don't know if they did the upgrades to the stadium finally, because I know they were going to do some upgrades also to the stadium. Damn it, I hate that I can't remember about the damn name for the stadium. Oh, God, it's crazy.
Listen, man, don't be so hard on yourself. You're entitled, man. You got a lot of stuff up there, man.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people would argue there's not much up there. So that would be the
No, see, the problem is there's too much.
Al Lang Stadium. There, I finally was
Al
able to cheat.
Lang Stadium.
Yes, I was able to cheat. I pulled it
Hey,
up.
man.
Al Lang Stadium.
It's all right.
There we go. It's one of the, don't you hate that? Like what you know it, and then you like that got that brain fart, and you got to remember it, and it's like yeah, and there it goes. It shakes out Al Lang Stadium. So he was.
Look, if we weren't on the air, you wouldn't have had the pressure of having to give the name, and you would have waited because it'll come to you. You know what I mean? And I'm the same way. Like, unless I absolutely have to, whatever, I like to wait. Like, let's not cheat. Let's let the brain, go through all the files, and we'll get to it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's
Yep.
in there. It's in there.
Yep. Okay.
It's in the cabinet. You just got to find the specific file. That's all.
Okay. All right. I'm typing now because I'm also taking care of our credentials.
We gonna have it like that, huh?
Well, we're media, bro.
I realize that.
All right. There
Dude,
we go.
I'm really looking forward to tomorrow, man. This is gonna be really cool.
Well, not only do we get to go to the game and go hang out, but we'll have more access than normal, and so we'll be able to talk to the players. Maybe I do another interview or two that we can kind of podcast and things like that. So for you Inter fans out there, we'll have more on the podcasting side for you over the weekend. We'll get some of the players, and maybe I don't know. I'm sure the coach will talk after. We'll cover it. We'll go there. We'll do the game, and then we'll talk with some of the players and the coaches right after the match, and then we come back home.
We know our YouTube live thing
That's
is
it.
working,
That's
so
it.
we should be able to utilize this tomorrow, pretty much.
Hardee's this time around?
You know what? No, I'm thinking Mellow Mushroom, my brother.
Oh no, yeah, that's while we're there.
Okay, maybe
On
on
the way back.
on the way back.
That's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
For sure.
Yeah, like
you
we,
know that.
Like we could get there, go to Mellow Mushroom, then go to the game, then leave the game and Hardee's on the way down, and just do like terrible food all the way around. But that's all right, whatever.
Wait a minute, man. Mellow Mushroom is
no,
not
it's
terrible
not.
food,
No,
my
Mellow
brother.
Mushroom is delicious.
And Hardee's
No,
actually.
but what I don't mean that way either.
Yes.
I just mean that
We're
it's
not doing burnt.
bread, it's not. It's fried. It's there's. Or what? Although in Mellow it won't be fried, but it'll be bread and cheese, and so it's one of those days. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go a little over the top there. So yeah, I gotta then Sunday back it down.
See, for you, that's the situation. Go get you some modified
Yeah,
intestines. Just have a little Crohn's surgery, and you don't have to worry about that anymore, man.
No. If you guys are going, by the way, to go see Inter Miami against Philadelphia at Al Lang Stadium in St. Pete tomorrow, send me the tweet, man. Send me the Instagram post. Tell me on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, 786-322-1105. I check it all, man. Check it out. We're always in tune with our social media. Let's see. Mad Dog saying Love or Herbert. Mad Dog, I'm going Love over Herbert. Burrow. No Burrow because they won't be able to trade for him. Let's see what else do we have here. Peter says, what was Lucky's pick of the day? I have not heard anything from Lucky the Bookie on a pick. But you could probably go back to the last broadcast and then pull it up, and I think the chat board will be there. And you might be, if he posted one, you'll see it. I didn't see it at least. So, Lucky, if you're tuning in, send us in your pick because people are waiting. Let's see what else do.
You want to show this off there, sir?
What's that? Oh, your food again, huh?
Yeah. We instead of doing the chicken, we went with the skirt steak, the Tarasco.
Look at that. Churrasco,
The
search
scallop,
steak.
watch out. The scallop potatoes and the little onions, and then my steamed vegetables. Hey, do you do windows?
Yes.
Do you do windows, brother?
Yeah.
You come and do windows? Okay.
That's terrible. I got that stained. Anyway, so we got all of that going on. What else do we have here? Myron says, I got to buy my Inter Miami jersey. Go to Caneswear, dude. Caneswear's got them. John says, didn't Frank Heyer tear both knees up in college? Who? Frank Heyer? Who the hell is Frank Heyer? Mad Dog, no, we won't. Oh, you guys are just like talking all kinds of stuff here. Now I'm hungry, damn, oh. Well, yeah, what can I tell you? Peter goes, that steak looked well done. It is well done, right?
No, man.
It's
Medium rare. Medium rare, my brother.
Medium rare is the way he's got it. Yes, risky, but very high up. Oh, you guys are talking draft amongst
Hey,
yourself.
man, when you stab it,
On the,
you want it to move.
Juicy.
You want it to bleed. You know,
Yes,
you want it to
bleed.
be semi-alive, man.
Yes.
Medium rare, baby.
Yes, bleed. You want it to bleed. Bleed. That's what it's all about. So, anyway, we got that going on. We've had a good start already to the program, getting AJ on. What time do we have? Is Will 2 or 2:30? It's 2:30?
2:30 on Will Carroll.
Okay, so 2:30 on Will Carroll, 3 o'clock for Steve Calabro, and 3:30 for our Dolphin, our Dolphin president. Which this week we've got let's see, Danny Johnson, who runs the online fan club out of Northern Georgia. It's called the Positive Porpoise. He's an Army veteran. How about that? I like it. Got several Army veterans or several veterans that are involved with some of these Dolphin clubs, which is actually pretty cool. Lucky the Bookie says, pick of the day, over 2.5, Monaco versus Montpellier. Oh, okay. So you're going soccer on me?
That's what it sounded like, right?
Over 2.5 goals. Lucky the Bookie going on football. Over 2.5 Monaco and Montpellier. Okay. All right. There you go. Okay. I like it. All right, Lucky, you're on a roll. So we gotta give you a little love here. We gotta spotlight the Lucky Bookie pick of the day. And there you go. Now you know. Pick of the day, 2.5 over 2.5 for Monaco versus Montpellier. There you go. What time is the gambling segment? Tree, man. Tree. That's when we talk all kinds of gambling. I don't know if we'll do All-Star, NBA All-Star, but I am ready for XFL because I went 3-1 last week. I just want
If
you to
I
know.
had to assume you lost the Tampa game, correct? Because that was your team. They were ranked the number 2 team
I think they
from
were
Vegas.
favored. I think they were favored. I think that's the one I lost.
If
yes.
I had to guess,
I took all the dogs.
Okay.
I took no. I would have won that.
If you took the dog,
No,
then you
I
won.
didn't take any favorites. I said, remember I told you last week, I said take all dogs because nobody knows these teams. So take all the points, and it was 3-1. All the dogs ended up winning 3-1. That's how I don't remember exact. Wait a minute. What am I doing? I got it here. I'm organized. I got it here, man. What we talking about here, man? Come on. Here we go. Here we go. But I don't. Wait a minute. It's the next day I got to go with, right? Because the next day I have the scores and the point. Oh, here we go. I won DC and Seattle. Dragons minus 8.5. They lost 31-19. I lost Houston, Los Angeles. The Roughnecks were favored by 5.5. They covered. They won by 20. I won the New York Tampa game because the Vipers were favored by 2, but the Guardians beat them 23-3. And I won the St. Louis Dallas game because the Renegades were favored by 10. So the St. Louis Battlehawks won 15-9. How about that? We were prepared. See? Can't tell me I'm not prepared. I'm prepared, baby. I'm ready to go. How about that? So we're going to have those picks for you later on in the afternoon because I did watch the games now. So I did. I watched all the games.
You watched all the games.
I watched all the games.
I missed one.
I watched all the games.
I missed the 5 o'clock Sunday game.
Oh, you just
I
forgot to record it. That's all.
No, I
you
still have
have
it
it.
recorded. I just haven't gotten around.
You won't watch it anymore now.
Yeah, I'd probably.
Unless you watch it tonight.
I might do a.
Well, that's what I did for all of them.
And you did.
Well, no, that's not true. Sunday I watched them live.
You did.
Yeah. Sunday I was just home. I chilled on Sunday, man. I didn't do anything Sunday. We didn't even post a podcast or anything on.
Well, bro, look, Saturday was hot, long.
Yeah.
And it did take something out of you, man.
Yeah. Well, Sunday I'm on 11 to 3 actually on Mad Dog. I'm actually on separate. For those of you that want to follow me on Sirius Mad Dog, we are on the 16th, which is Sunday 11 to 3. Then we're on Monday 8 to 11, and Thursday 8 to 11, and then Sunday again. Yes, Sunday again 3 to 7. So there you go. We're on 4 times this week on Mad Dog Channel. Is that all?
That's a regular job. That ain't part-time.
I know that is. I know. I just that is true. That is true. You know, it's a fun challenge when I do Mad Dog now compared to what I do every day, because we talk a lot less. I mean, we do a lot less breaks here and things like that. Like right now, I've been on for a straight half hour, which you never do that in radio. You know what I mean? So it's kind of a different challenge here, because here we kind of like, you got to be able to talk. You got to be able to have lots of subjects to talk about. And I'm not doing like a regular radio show where they repeat. Like you would talk about the Houston Astros scandal, and you'd mention in a 4-hour show, you'd mention it every hour. You'd spend a segment on it at least every hour, and then take some calls or some reaction from it by the text or whatever, and then move on and add something else. Here, we talked about it already in the first half of the show. It's not going to be repeated. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things that it's a whole different challenge here. So when I do Mad Dog, it's a layup because you get to repeat things.
It's totally watered down from this, man.
Yeah, it's completely, you really have, it's so much less substance, and so it's a different ball game. Anyway, speaking of the half hour that we've been at, we are here at Hialeah Park where, man, we are in the second floor poker room. Poker room is loaded right now. People are enjoying it. We got the TVs all over the place, so you can watch the games going on. You can watch the Panthers depress you, but then you can play poker here and get, excited. Tomorrow you can watch the XFL games. You can watch horse racing all over the country. You've got the windows right there, so you can change your game chips. So when you win a lot of money here, you change it, and then you can lay a bet or two at some of the tracks across the country. Down the floor, we've got the Champion Simulcast Center, which we were broadcasting from there for an entire month. Place is awesome, electric. You can bet and wager on all the tracks across the country. Downstairs, they've got over 900 gaming machines. It's a non-smoking casino, so there's not going to be somebody next to you with a cigar or a cigarette. We actually have machines outside, under roof, and there's ventilation, everything. They're called the smoking hot slots. It's outside. Those folks that want to smoke and gamble, they can do it outside. But inside, you got windows so you can see the outside, because they want you to see the beautiful architecture. They want you to see, of course, the
and there's actually some races. Quarter horses were running, man.
That's right.
They got the quarter horses going.
Yeah, there you go. How about that? All kinds of entertainment. Tonight they'll have the DJ downstairs in the Flamingo Lounge. You can dance the night away. It's It's Valentine's Day. You bring her over here. You bring that special someone. You have a nice dinner, some dancing, some gambling. Come on, man. It's a great night. It's a fantastic night. Hialeah Park, baby, out here at Hialeah. Go to the website, hialeahpark.com.
Plus tax, tech title. It includes $8.99 dealer fee on approved credit. Offers end 11/10/19.
Over 1,500 Toyotas are on the ground, and truckloads of new 2020 Toyotas just keep on coming. To eliminate all 2019 models, Toyota of Hollywood is holding the ultimate 2019 model year changeover event. Make us an offer, any offer, and you can buy a Toyota at up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used.
50% less.
A pre-owned 2019 RAV4, not $30,000, $19,775. A pre-owned 2019 Camry LE, not $26,000, $17,775. A pre-owned 2019 Corolla LE, not $22,000, $12,775. Pay up to 50% less at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2014 to 2018 per SET, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Thinking about buying or refinancing a home? Act now. Home values are ticking up. Don't put off making a move any longer. Call Michael Kodsey now at Choice Mortgage Bank, 561-441-2730, while mortgage interest rates are still at historical lows. Call now to get pre-approved and buy your dream home. If you're currently paying over $800 a month for rent, call 561-441-2730 now before interest rates go up. Down payments as low as 3.5%. Veterans may qualify for no money down. If you own a home, but you're upside down, Michael Kodsey can help. If you're being denied by your bank or your loan process is taking too long, call 561-441-2730. Act now while fixed rates are still under 3.5%. Offices in Boca and Boynton Beach. Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. Equal housing lender. NMLS 122081.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
The world's biggest band is coming twice. Metallica. Headlining the Welcome to Rockville Music Festival. 2 different nights, 2 different sets. The weekend of May 8th through the 10th. Go to welcometorockvillefestival.com for all information. Get your tickets on sale right now. The one, the only Metallica. Go to welcometorockvillefestival.com.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
All right, we are back here at Hialeah Park, baby. Yes, sir. And we always thank the listeners to come on by and say hi, or future sponsors to come on by and say hi. We always appreciate that immensely. Thank you so much, as always. The amazing support that you guys have given us. Little do you know Okay, what you don't realize is that you are creating something for everybody. And we're going to end up creating a hub for the South Florida sports fan. Doesn't matter where they live in the world. You know, Heat fans live all over and Dolphin fans live all over. And I know we've got a lot of military people out there because we've got people downloading all over the world. So I'm sure a lot of them are military that live here, or their families live here and they are born and raised here, but they're in other places and they still love their local teams. So they download this show. And by the way, I want to thank, you know, everybody that's involved. And if you are out in the military all over the world protecting our freedoms, thank you for supporting the show. And we thank everybody that has given us just an incredible amount of support, man. You know, it's going to be fun. I think by the end of next month, we'll have something that's it's going to be a really nice benchmark that we're going to be crossing, and we'll be able to talk a little bit about it. But anyway, if you guys want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, it's 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always, because that's a 24-hour talk show on Twitter. Always there available for you guys. Let's see, what else do we have going on. I thought it was really cool. I don't know if you guys saw this, but they've got the plans out already for the ceremony for Kobe and Gigi. I don't know if you did you hear about this at all, Bill? The stuff for Kobe and Gigi that they're doing.
I know they're doing something at the All-Star game, I believe.
Well, yeah, no, they're honoring, but the memorial the plans have been set at the Staples Center, and it's getting they're just locking down all the details. But sources, according to TMZ, with the planning, tell them that the organizers are working closely with Kobe's family to finalize everything. Their tickets will be available to the general public, although there will be a number of invited guests who get tickets first, including family, friends, players, NBA officials, and we're told season ticket holders. We're told the seats that remain will be sold to the public at a price that reflects the memories of Kobe and Gigi. We're told that the options being discussed to sell is $24.02, $24 for representing Kobe and $2 for representing Gigi. The net proceeds will go to a charity selected by the family. Whatever the price ends up being, our sources say it will reflect and honor Kobe and Gigi. Now, they don't know what charity will be the beneficiary, but Mamba Sports Academy was recently renamed to the Mamba and Mambacita Sports Foundation. Vanessa says the decision was because they wanted, of course, to also honor Gigi, too. The memorial is set to be televised live on multiple networks, and the streets around Staples will be closed for security and traffic control. So law enforcement is encouraging people who don't get tickets to stay home and watch it on TV. Yes, I'm sure a lot of people will be watching on TV, but there's going to be a lot of people that are going to make their way down there. And that place is going to be an absolute madhouse. And look, man, that's kind of the territory, right? We're talking about a beloved figure in the Laker nation. You know, when it comes to Kobe, very few players have that kind of love, that kind of fan base, that kind of fanaticism. You know, Kobe fans are fanatical. I mean, in a huge way, they are fanatical. And so I would not be surprised. I know they tell them to stay away because a couple blocks, but people will still gravitate there because they're going to want to just get the feel of what's going on, see the other people that might be arriving there, all that kind of stuff, tourist, just different things going on that is just going to attract a lot of attention. But there's no doubt that that's going to be a madhouse. Okay?
I wouldn't be surprised if, like, the streets, blah, whatever, they estimate hundreds of thousands of people, man.
For sure, man. For
You
sure.
know?
I would not be surprised. I don't know about hundreds of thousands, but maybe to 100, yes.
People on the streets, like
Yeah.
that type of stuff. That
Yeah.
they're gonna be a.
I mean,
it's
100,
a lot.
100's a lot. You know what I mean? But that's
Remember how the streets were when OJ was making his run?
Yeah.
In the Bronco, they were all over the highway and all.
Yeah.
I mean, I would assume the car, whatever is involved. Like this is the group. I'm sure they're gonna want to be and see.
Yeah. I mean, it's just it's going to be a madhouse.
And
There's
like you said,
no doubt in my mind that
the fanatical way. It's going to be overwhelming, man.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt in my mind about that. So, but it was nice to know, and nice to see a nice move by Vanessa, changing the Mamba Academy to Mambacita. That was really cool. I can't imagine what that woman is going through, man. The only solace she has is that she has her other daughters. So she has, the legacy and all that, and she has somebody that she can, share that pain with, which obviously, when people have lost their families and they're the last one left, can you imagine? You can lean on people, but it's not the same. You know what I mean? And I can't imagine what Vanessa's going through still to this day. For years, it's going to go on for her to adjust without her husband and one of her daughters. Just that part I can't imagine any parent going through that. You just that should never happen, right? No parent should ever bury their child ever. I mean that part is just unacceptable, man. Unacceptable. But I mean, what are you gonna do? All right, 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the program, that's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the show, don't forget that VSS West Pines is a proud sponsor of our program. And listen, when it comes to CBD, it is something that is taken over. And I know some of you out there, you're not educated in the process. That's what you're going to love about VSS West Pines. The guys there, and of course, we've got Sasha too. They are very educated on everything when it comes to CBD. And CBD does not get you high. It's not a drug. It's all medicinal. Okay, it's the medicinal part of the plant. And it helps alleviate a lot of things like stress and anxiety. And it helps you sleep. There's all kinds of different things for pain. CBD can be used for so many different avenues that we need in our daily lives and things that we deal with every single day. And they have it in flour, tincture, edibles like chocolates and jelly beans, the CBD topicals, the Salve for pain. They've got it all there, man. And they've got the hookahs, all prices, $19.99 and up. Khalil Mamoon, they've got, which is the Egyptian one. They've got everything. I'm telling you, cleaners for pipes, smoking containers, water bongs, dry herb vaporizers, incense, e-juice for vaporizers. They've got it all for you. VSS West Pines, 12397 Pembroke Road. That's 12397 Pembroke Road. Tell them that Big O sent you. Very important when you visit our sponsors. You tell them that we sent you. VSS West Pines on Instagram and on Facebook. All right. Some of the other stuff that I wanted to talk about here did you see Steve Miller, by the way, is going to have a tour? And when was the last time you saw Steve Miller, my man?
Actually, probably 4 years ago.
Wow.
My girlfriend that passed away from the diabetic coma. That was the last time I saw him. Me and her went.
Wow.
Yeah.
He has announced another tour, the Americana.
It's hard to
tour.
It's hard to listen to Steve Miller now.
Right. I think about her.
Don't
right?
even wear the shirt. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I feel you.
And
man.
he's awesome. He's awesome.
No,
Love him, man. He's great.
He comes down here at least once every year.
He likes it down here.
Yeah.
Man.
Although.
And he comes all the way down. He comes down here.
Yeah, and this tour does not have a Florida date. So, but that's the weird. That's what I was going to tell you. That this is the opposite of what we normally talk about.
Yeah.
Because he always comes down here,
And he's usually like at the Hard Rock, or
Yeah.
he comes all the way down
yes,
for us.
Yes. I even saw him at Adrian Orst. That was a special concert. It was him, Jimmy Vaughn, and no, I think it was just those two. It was Jimmy Vaughn and him, and they did a blues set. No Steve Miller songs. It was all blues.
Crank out a little Stevie Ray, maybe?
Yeah, well, no. I'm talking about like they went deep into the blues. It was
Okay.
there wasn't modern day blues at all.
Okay, all right.
They went to the
Classic.
godfathers of the
Yes.
blues, and they were jamming. And obviously Jimmy Vaughn himself is a godfather of the blues, in a way. So those two guys were, and it was at Adrian Arst, and that was an awesome concert. If you've never seen Steve Miller, by the way, he still sounds good. Okay, you guys know if somebody doesn't sound good, I'll tell you, hey, be careful. Just want you to know, just because I've been to tons of concerts, and I kind of feel it's my duty to tell you, hey, this is worth it. This isn't worth it. You know, that kind of stuff. And Steve Miller is a guy that still sounds really good. His voice, because his voice is not one of those voices that he was screeching and screaming and all that. But as long as he can still hit those high notes, he's fine, and he can, which is really, really cool. 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the program. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the show. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always, because that's like a 24-hour talk show. Did you see the college football player that body slammed a cop?
Was he from Ohio State? Was it one of Urban Meyer's guys?
No. Actually, he was from a smaller school. It wasn't like he was from a big school, but it's interesting. If you want, go to TMZ Sports, and you could check out the video. It says a college football player straight up body slammed a cop during his arrest in Ohio this week, and the police video of the incident is insane. Cops say Monday they got a call from a woman at a Grove City, Ohio business who said Michael Harris, an Eastern Kentucky University linebacker, was acting erratic. In the call, according to police docs, the woman claimed the 19-year-old Harris was being aggressive and did not seem to be all there. So when officers arrived on the scene, things took a horrible turn because cops say after they confronted Harris, it got violent. You can see in the police footage of the stop, the officers got into a wrestling match with Harris, and at one point the 6'3", 245-pound linebacker picked up one of the cops. The video of what happens next is wild. You can see Harris put the male officer over his shoulder and drop him to the ground with force. Fortunately for the cop, he avoided serious injury in the fall and was able to help restrain Harris. In fact, I give him credit because as he gets slammed, he's holding the guy down, and then the other two cops like get on top. And then they kind of, it says in a statement provided to TMZ, EKU says they've suspended the football player Michael Harris after he was arrested for body slamming the cop. Eastern Kentucky University Athletics is actively monitoring the incident involving one of our student athletes that resulted in criminal charges against Mr. Harris. Mr. Harris is currently enrolled at EKU and listed as a redshirt sophomore on the EKU football roster. He's been suspended from all team and football-related activities at this time. The statement goes on to say, when the facts are established and the investigation is complete, Eastern Kentucky University, EKU Athletics will decide how to move forward responsibly. In other words, if you're found guilty, they're releasing you and you lose your scholarship if you have one. If the investigation is done and you are found that you are acquitted and you are not charged, you will keep your scholarship and you will stay as a player.
It's okay. Let him get kicked out of school. He could go back to. He's from Ohio. Go to Ohio State.
Yeah.
They want you.
Yep. Peter goes, you see that jerk nuts on the plane that was hitting the lady's seat. Yeah, I saw that. And, I mean, that guy's a loser. See, here's the problem with all of this. Why do they have that button for you to lean your seat back? Because, you know, there's this thing out there now that people say, well, you shouldn't ease your seat back on a plane. Well, but that's what you paid for. And I don't know about you, but when I'm on a plane for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 hours, I don't want to sit up straight like that. I need to lean back a little bit so I can actually rest and actually I can fall asleep. And that's what I paid for. Now, when I sit in the emergency seat, I know that it does not recline. When I sit where that guy was sitting, which was the last seat on the row, and it's up against a wall, you know you're not reclining. But the people in front of you can. And if you need more room, then you should have bought a bigger seat. You know, they sell.
Yeah, but not on Spirit Air, because if you pay the extra money for extra leg room, you don't get extra leg room.
You might, no, I mean, but they do have it. They have it. So if you need the extra leg room because you're a big guy, okay, well then buy it. But you can't complain if somebody wants to lean back. You know what it reminds me of? Baseball's unwritten rules. Like there's an unwritten rule now on the plane that you're not supposed to lean back. What is that, dude? No, bro, I'm going Fat Joe. I'm leaning back. Isn't it Fat Joe that sings that song, Lean Back? Okay, so I'm doing that. Hell no, I paid for it. So if I want to do it, I'm going to do it. I don't think anybody is being rude if you're leaning back. I really don't. I completely understand it. And it's your right. I don't know where all of a sudden this was supposed to be, you know, illegal or wrong or what's it called, rude to lean your seat back when that's what that damn button is there for.
Maybe just look back and say something. Just give them a heads up. You know.
Okay, you can do that if you want.
Accommodate. You know, trying to take the other
person. You can do that if you want to do
Yeah.
that, but that's still not. You don't have to.
It's not
do that.
required, but yeah, you know.
Man, I'm 53. I don't remember people 20 years ago having to ask you to lean back. You just lean back. Now, you know what the real problem is, right? The airlines. Because they're the ones that have made seats smaller. They're the ones that have made the spaces smaller so they can try to fit more seats. That's really what it is. There was this article I read, I'm going to say about 2-3 months ago. They were showing airplane seats in the 70s and now. And it's like, you want to turn your mic off, bro? It happened. It's like night and day. Like two of you can sit in the seats in the 70s. Like in the 70s, you can lean back. Oh, it's super wider. It's a bigger, more plusher seat. Now you look at it, it's skinnier, has less foam, it's thinner, it's smaller. And there's a problem here. Our country's obese. So we have a lot of people that are carrying extra weight in this country. And so it's kind of counterproductive to what the society is and what you've done with the seats. It's not really your fault or my fault. It's really the airplane companies because they're trying to squeeze in as many seats as possible. And that's really what it's all about. Because people have been leaning their seat back forever. And they weren't complaining. All of a sudden now there's complaints. Well, that's because we're all fatter. There's less space. The seats are smaller. And we're cramped up and we're like sardines. And the problem is these damn airlines. But if you don't want people leaning back, then don't put the button, man. It's pretty simple. I can't blame the woman that's leaning back because that's her right to do that. And let me tell you, there's a lot of people that kind of need to rest on a plane. They need to sleep on the plane because it bothers them being awake in a plane. Like, they don't deal with flying very well. So they'll sleep, they'll rest, they'll relax, they'll take a pill or two and go out. They'll take a couple drinks and, get knocked out, and because that's the way they deal. I got a buddy of mine that needs to get somewhat inebriated when he gets on the plane. He has to be somewhat buzzed when he gets on the plane because he hates flying. So his best way of dealing with it is with a buzz. So he'll have a couple drinks, he'll smoke a doob, whatever he'll do, but he'll do something to kind of get him a buzz so he can deal with the anxieties of traveling because he hates it. And the worst part is, not only does he hate it, his job forces him to fly. Like, he has no choice. He's a sales guy, national sales guy. So he has no choice. He has to fly. He flies a lot. Like, he takes, about 10 planes a month. And he hates all of them. Doesn't matter what it is. You'll catch him at the bar before he gets on. Or I think he says that when he's home, then he'll burn and then get on the plane. If he's on the road, he can't burn unless he's in one of those states. So he'll have a couple drinks. But he has to have some kind of inebriation to get on the plane. And he will lean back. He will go Fat Joe on you. Guaranteed.
Well, just remember, when you're up there in the atmosphere in the plane, all your intake is doubled. 1 drink equals 2, whatever you're doing. So you save a little money.
No, there you go. Yeah, but he can't wait that long. That's how
he needs to walk on the plane like, hey, all right, let's go.
He's buzzing already when he's on the plane. No. Seriously, he has to.
I had my girlfriend from Royal Caribbean, Wisconsin. We did a bunch of trips. We won back in the day, Royal Caribbean used to give you blah, blah, and, airline tickets. So we were flying all the time. She couldn't fly. We'd have to get a bottle of champagne and do mimosas before she could get, drink a whole bottle of champagne, and she'd be all ready to go. And okay, cool.
Peter goes, Big O, I'm taking Spirit Airlines in April. Do they have TVs on the back of the headrest? Brother, you'll be lucky if they have 2 wheels to land. Ty goes, Big O, did you talk about the Dolphins building a championship defense again in Miami? Why would I talk about that? It hasn't happened yet. Ty, you're on a roll this week, bro. You have been on a roll this week with some funky-ass texts. I got to tell you. Are we going in hypotheticals? Well, when they grab the players that I think then will turn into a championship defense, then we'll talk about it. But at the moment, they don't have championship linebackers and a championship secondary, and they don't have a championship defensive end or ends. You know what I'm saying? So they're far away. But they would like to build a championship defense, Ty, and they would like to find a championship quarterback and a championship offense and a championship defensive coordinator and a championship offensive coordinator and a championship head coach and a championship general manager. They'd like to find all those things. So, but only time will tell if they found those things. That was good. Championship defense. All right, well, you're getting a little ahead of yourself, my brother. Let's wait till they actually acquire it. All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back on the other side, Will Carroll, the injury expert, will join us. We'll get the latest on some of the injuries going on in the world of sports. Back with more live from Hialeah Park.
Plus tax tag title. It includes $8.99 dealer fee on approved credit offers and 11/10/19.
Over 1,500 Toyotas are on the ground, and truckloads of new 2020 Toyotas just keep on coming. To eliminate all 2019 models, Toyota of Hollywood is holding the ultimate 2019 model year changeover event. Make us an offer, any offer, and you can buy a Toyota at up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used.
50% less.
A pre-owned 2019 RAV4, not $30,000, $19,775. A pre-owned 2019 Camry LE, not $26,000, $17,775. A pre-owned 2019 Corolla LE, not $22,000, $12,775. Pay up to 50% less at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2014 to 2018 per SET, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Thinking about buying or refinancing a home? Act now. Home values are ticking up. Don't put off making a move any longer. Call Michael Kodsey now at Choice Mortgage Bank, 561-441-2730, while mortgage interest rates are still at historical lows. Call now to get pre-approved and buy your dream home. If you're currently paying over $800 a month for rent, call 561-441-2730 now before interest rates go up. Down payments as low as 3.5%. Veterans may qualify for no money down. If you own a home, but you're upside down, Michael Kodsey can help. If you're being denied by your bank or your loan process is taking too long, call 561-441-2730. Act now while fixed rates are still under 3.5%. Offices in Boca and Boynton Beach. Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. Equal housing lender. NMLS 122081.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
The world's biggest band is coming twice. Metallica. Headlining the Welcome to Rockville Music Festival. 2 different nights, 2 different sets. The weekend of May 8th through the 10th. Go to welcometorockvillefestival.com for all information. Get your tickets on sale right now. The one, the only Metallica. Go to welcometorockvillefestival.com.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
All righty.
This is the Big O Show.
It is time to talk to the injury expert, which is, of course, Will Carroll, the best in the business. For those of you, before you make any kind of wager this weekend and you want to find out what's going on in the world of sports, some of the big injuries. First, we're going to start off with an injury that is the most important one for Dolphin fans and some NFL fans, of course, which is Mr. Tua. But let's bring him first aboard. Will, good afternoon, my friend. How are you doing, sir?
I'm cold, sir. It is cold here in Indianapolis, so I'm feeling very envious of you guys down there.
Oh, man, yeah. I know how it is sometimes, especially when – and it can get cold, man. And the wind – That's the thing about Indy that people don't realize. That wind sometimes when you're walking around downtown, that baby will slice you in half, brother. Wow.
Yes, that is it. But, you'll be here soon enough.
Yes. Anyway, let's get into this here now. Tua, you gave us the scoop and the latest on his injury on Friday last week. What I wanted to do is follow up now. And, a couple months back, we talked about Dennis Pitta, and you kind of compared the injuries now. From all the information that you've gathered now, where he's at and his recovery and all of that, is it a lot like the Pitta injury? Where do you stand on that and his recovery? I know none of us can predict what kind of durability he's going to have from here on out.
Yeah, I think, talking to people around the league, it's less about this injury than it is all the other injuries he's had. This one's crazy. You can compare it to Dennis Pitta, that's the closest. Is it the exact same? Nope, it's not the exact same. It's really not even that close. It's hip, but the way they dealt with this is different. The rehab is different. There's actually less damage. It was more violent, but less damage, if that makes sense. It broke, and the bone popped out, which sounds terrible. But, once they got it back in and glued everything back together, it was glued, it should hold up, The problem is the people that have this are normally in car crashes, people have large falls, and they come back from it, but they're not playing quarterback in the NFL. Can his ankles hold up? Well, they should now because he's had both of them completely repaired. But is something else going to break? Is he just fragile? It's interesting. A lot of cases like this, we try to figure things out around them. And there is a great comp for Tua, and that's his brother, who hasn't played as much, obviously. It's his younger brother, also a quarterback at Alabama. But he's had none of these injury problems. Thing is, Tua didn't really have injury problems in high school either. So there's just nothing to really compare this to. So you have to believe, first, that he's healthy, and B, that your doctors and athletic trainers can keep him healthy. And more teams I've talked to, they haven't made their decision. They haven't seen everything. They haven't gotten their hands on it. But talking to the doctors involved, I think they're becoming more and more comfortable. And I continue to think he's not going to go 5 to the Dolphins. I think he's going to go 3, and I'm not sure who's going to trade up to that Detroit Lions pick, but I do think he's going to be the second quarterback chosen.
Wow. That to me is baffling that you're going to take a guy that high, that is that injury prone and is fragile. Now let me ask you, while those ankles are repaired, what's it stopping him from, having the same kind of injury happening again? Did they do something that it may prevent that?
Yeah, they actually use what's called a tightrope technique where it's Kevlar now. Forget repairing the tendon that's in there, ligament in this case. It's the syndesmosis, high ankle, when we talk about a high ankle sprain. Rather than repairing or replacing the ligament, they just put wires of Kevlar in there. So that, at least, absent something truly horrendous, is not going to break again. But then again,
and it gives, right? And it gives too at the same time, right?
A little bit, but no more than natural. They've really done a lot with these. The internal brace is an amazing technology, and if you go back a couple of years ago, if you just search for my name and internal brace, there was an article I did at FanSided, which was pretty much the first one breaking down exactly what this is and how we could use it. And we're seeing it more and more. The question with Tua is there some fragility in his ligaments or tendons or, in this case, bones? I don't think we can take this hip injury as anything other than freakish. Could he blow out a knee? Yeah, but so could every other quarterback out there. Who's to say a guy who was really almost never injured in college, in Andrew Luck, isn't going to have injury problems in the pros, which he did. Let's face it, some guys can't hold up for whatever reason. We don't know that.
Wait a minute. That one I got to disagree with you on that one, because the Indianapolis Colts allowed his ass to take a beating, just a severe beating that anybody would break down from. That's really, it wasn't because I don't believe Luck was injury prone. I just think anybody will be injury prone if they allow you to take a beating the way they let him take a beating. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
It's not like Tua.
I'm not blaming him as injury prone. I'm saying he had a number of injuries. You could say the same thing about Tom Brady. You know, if you take a hit low, that knee's going to go.
That's right.
So everybody's one play away.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. But yeah, oh, man, he scares me at that top pick. I get it. The Dolphins have 400 picks, so it's a little easier for them to take that chance at number 5. But trading up for the guy, that would be kind of crazy. All right, Damian Lillard just dropped out of the All-Star game with a groin injury. How bad is it?
Not horrible. This is one of those that if this were, it's the proverbial, if this were the playoffs, he'd be playing. He's a very agile player. Obviously, he's in the NBA, but he's more so than most. That shake and shimmy that he has is a strong part of his game. So they're just taking the chance to rest him to make sure this doesn't become something worse than what it is. It's not good, but it's not bad. It's grade 1 strain. I wouldn't worry too much about this long term.
All right. Then next up here, we've got Kyrie Irving with the knee. What's the latest there?
This really isn't about the knee anymore. He should be back by now. If he's continuing to have problems, which I don't think he is, then, that would be serious. But let's face it, the Nets aren't really even trying at this stage. And Kyrie is Kyrie. Can we just shrug at this stage and say it's just Kyrie?
Okay. All right. Steph and the hand. What's the latest? And do they even – I wouldn't play him this. It's not like he needs to test out his shooting or anything like that. This is the god of shooting, bro. I mean, I'd rather not even play his ass on the worst team in the league this year. But you tell me, do they have really any plans? Because it says like March, so we're getting close now. Are they going to bring him back?
This is an interesting one because obviously, Durant is gone. Klay Thompson is down with the knee, and we haven't really seen him coming back like we would expect. In the same way we haven't seen Durant coming back like we'd expect, though he's not a Warrior anymore. They've just had tons of injuries. With Steph, you're right. If they did a very, very technical surgery, more than you would normally do, but it's for his touch. He wanted to make sure he had the very best possible chance of 100% recovery. The interesting and confounding part here is, let's say you sit him out all season. Does it help or does it hurt? It really doesn't matter. It comes down to tanking and having a good excuse for it. But Steph has another confounding factor, which is the Olympics. If you sit him out all season, but then he immediately goes and starts practicing for the Olympics, doesn't Adam Silver have something to say about that? Wouldn't some of the opponents kind of raise an eyebrow at that one? We're going to have to come up with some sort of rule about if you're medically cleared, you must play. Otherwise, this whole rest rule that you can't rest here and you can rest there, they've got to throw that out too.
Yeah, but we're kind of being hypocrites here because I kind of understand if it's my superstar, and that guy's the reason, one of the reasons why I've won 3 titles, and this is a useless year. And why am I going to put him out there with a whole bunch of other guys that are just guys? I got a problem with that. You know what? I don't get mad because they're resting him or they're letting him just have the rest of the year off so he can get completely healthy. This is a fragile player. This is a guy that's had a lot of injuries in his career. This might be a beneficial season to him to extend his career because he gets a whole year of his body actually resting and no wear and tear. So next year, I get Klay and Steph super fresh. I kind of like that if I'm the Warriors. And you know what? As an NBA fan and a Heat fan, I totally understand what they're doing. And if Miami was in that same position, I wish Riley and Spo would do the same thing. I got no problem with it.
I absolutely agree. hey, I hate to do this. I've got to cut out a little early.
Okay.
As you know, I'm coaching this year.
Yes.
We got a baseball team, and we're opening this weekend. Our bus is getting ready to peel out.
Go.
So I've got to go. But thanks a lot, and we'll talk to you next week.
You got it, baby. Be good. Thank you. There you go. The great Will Carroll, baby, injury expert, joining us on the program. I got no problem with that. Well, they might be tanking. I don't care, man. That's Kyrie. Kyrie. That's Steph Curry, man.
That's your main guy. That's your franchise, man.
Yeah, man. I got
and
no
they're not
problem
going
with
anywhere.
that.
They're not going anywhere.
Yeah, they're the worst team in the league. They are the worst team in the league.
Unless the owner is putting money on the game and he needs to get Stephen, like that.
Last time I checked, his name is not Rose. So, I mean, I got no problem with that. If people get mad at the Warriors because they keep Steph out for the rest of because they had him coming back in March, but they keep him out for the rest. Oh, please. Who cares? If it was our guy here in Miami, I would rather them just keep him on the side, man. We went through that season when they got Beasley, and they were putting anybody and everybody that had a toenail hurt, they were putting them on the IR. Whatever, and that was more tanking than anything else. This, I wouldn't even call it tanking. Their team is already terrible as it is. It has nothing to do with it. I would call it, being smart. This is, what's it called? Steph Curry is fragile. That guy breaks down a lot. He has broken down a lot in his career. This is not his first injury, or as they say, his first rodeo. This guy's been injured a lot. He needs this kind of rest.
You might be totally right. I own Draymond Green in my fantasy team, and he has missed a lot of games.
Yeah.
Every time he gets a hangnail. Oh, can't have him in the lineup.
Right. Well, this is the kind of year where you want to, this is the kind of year where you will want to take care of a guy like that. You don't want to burn him out either because he needs to be ready for next year with the other two guys to run. And then he's in his role. Look, you've seen it when you watch Draymond Green. And a lot of you, by the way, that thought he was a frontline player, you've kind of learned your lesson that he's not no frontline player because he doesn't have the offensive skills to be a frontline player. He's a great complementary player, but complementary. He cannot be your number one and number two player ever on any team. Doesn't matter. You're doing that, you cheat your team out of being the best it could possibly be. And yeah, he's a heck of a player under the right circumstances. When you have him as a third or fourth option, that's where he's hell. I think Draymond Green's a fourth option, really, on a good team. Okay, but I'll give you a 3 for argument's sake. But on a really good championship team, I don't even want him at 3. I want him 4. That's kind of what he's been the last couple of years because it was Durant, Clay, and Steph easily in front of him. And that's where you have him perfect. And if you would have kept D'Angelo Russell and you had the other two guys healthy, he'd still be your fourth option. You'd want D'Angelo Russell ahead of him because D'Angelo Russell's skill set is way better offensively than Draymond Green. But what the Warriors are doing is smart. And I backed them up 1,000% on that. All right, what else do we have here? 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. The one of the other things that I wanted to talk about is a little Heat-related, and I find it also humorous because, and look, I get it. Sometimes the folks in the media, you want to create some drama. You want to create some desperation. So you do certain things that, hey, it's opportunities, right? So now this report comes out, which, by the way, was shot down, hard by the people in the Lions. But KDIV-TV or something like that, some bootleg little TV station said that they were shopping Matt Stafford. And the Lions came out and said, this is not true. There's nothing true. 100% false is this report. Basically, that's how they called the guy out. Okay, so the guy that reported it, or a woman that reported it on that TV station, they probably got an earful from the team. Okay, so they completely shot it down. Said no way. So now, people, what's it called? Writers out there, they all of a sudden start throwing out, well, this is bad news for the Miami Dolphins. This could be bad news for the Miami Dolphins. This is not the kind of news the Dolphins want to hear. And I love this. The Dolphins have 14 picks in the draft. The Dolphins don't need to be nervous about anything. They got enough picks that all kinds of players are going to fall to them. Take them. No need to be desperate. Desperate are the writers. They're desperate for the Dolphins to give up 4 and 5 picks to get one guy. And listen, if Detroit wants to trade Matthew Stafford to then draft Tua, well, then so be it, man. That's fine. Miami will get something else at 5. And they'll get something at 18, and they'll get something at 26, and they'll get a couple more in the second round. They'll get a couple more in the third round. They'll load it up. I mean, I love it how they make it sound at times like your season is over. And sometimes people phrase it like, well, this whole offseason or this whole season was about getting a quarterback. Every year is about getting a quarterback if you're the Miami Dolphins. That's not just this year. Oh, and by the way, somebody might want to tell writers that quarterbacks come out every year in the draft. Okay? And after all this stuff and all this drama that people wanted to create about tanking, you realize that if you do end up tanking for number 1 and your target was Tua, you're now getting Burrow a one-year wonder. Because the guy you were targeting and tanking for, you can't take a number 1 overall because he's got a broken down hip. Okay? And I don't care what anybody tells me. I see fragile when I see Tua. I don't see durable. I don't see a guy that can stay on the field. So why is he going to all of a sudden now stay on the field? What is it? Did they put like some special gorilla glue in his hip or something? Some crazy glue? So what was it? Did he go to see some doctor in Hialeah that pumps concrete in your ass to build up your butt? Did he do that in the hip? I don't know. I'm wondering. What would they do to that hip that all of a sudden it's going to stay in one piece?
Is it like his ankle? Did they put Kevlar in there?
Yeah, exactly. Did they put it in armor? I mean, come on. Give me a break. It's just, I love how they make it sound like it's the end-all, be-all. And look, if Detroit wants to draft a quarterback at 3, or they want to trade that spot to somebody, then go ahead. I like Anthony Gordon. I like Jordan Love. What's wrong with that? Give me a project like Nate Stanley later on in the draft. Maybe he turns out to be a quarterback. I don't care. The Davidson kid from Princeton. Whatever. There's going to be other guys. They got to build a line. They got to build a D line. They got to get linebackers. They got to get a corner or 2. At least 2. Maybe 3 because X. You never know. There's a lot of things that they need. This draft is loaded with wide receivers. And I know I like the Dolphins wide receiving core, but if you can get yourself a 6'2", 6'3", 6'4" guy, because let me tell you, I saw a lot of redwood trees in the East-West and the senior. A lot of big receivers. I'm like, you know what? I wouldn't mind having one of those. Cut the Oompa Loompa named Albert Wilson and add that guy there to the mix. Save yourself a lot of money in the cap by cutting Wilson and draft a young kid that you won't have to pay for 4 to 5 years, depending where you draft him. I mean, there's a lot of things that they need, but the fact that Detroit, which is a phony story, but even off the phony story, they're writing the drama-filled stories. Oh, the Miami Dolphins should be nervous. Their fans aren't going to like this. Detroit might be in the quarterback game at 3. So what? So what? Relax. You'll get a quarterback. It's not the end of the world. And if it doesn't happen this year, you'll get it next year. That's all. I mean, it just that's the part to me that just it's a bunch of crap. And let's just stir it up, and let's just say everybody wants to get traded off this team, and let's just say everybody quit and nobody's trying, and let's just keep throwing on all these narratives that were all wrong. Oh, the Dolphins are tanking. So now this is the latest one. Oh, Dolphin fans, you got to be nervous because the Lions, who never get it right, may want to have a quarterback at 3. Knowing the Lions at 3, they take Justin Herbert. And then everybody writing about Tua, he's still there for you at 5. And after all that crap that everybody was talking about, they go and take, because that's what the Lions would do. That's a Lions thing. You would think they would take Tua, and then they end up taking Justin Herbert.
You don't think they draft a receiver, and then next year draft another receiver, and next year draft another? You remember they had that run of like
Matt Millen. The Matt Millen years.
Oh, God.
Yeah, the Matt Millen years. I mean, it's just, it's so ridiculous. It really is. And the Dolphins have like 25 picks in the next 2 years. Okay? You start 22 players on offense and defense. They'll be fine. They'll be fine, man. Just got to hang in there, but it's not as desperate as some people make it out to be. How does Will Ferrell know about injuries? Well, Will Ferrell, he knows a lot about comedies and injuries because during those comedies, he falls a lot and gets injured. So he knows about injuries. That's how Will Ferrell does it. He's a comedian, and he's also an injury expert. Bet you didn't know that. Let's see. What else? Ying Sna 69. What does that mean? Is asking, you Canadian? All right. No, sir. Big O, why would David Hinkle call you a snollygoster? I have no idea.
What?
They called
hell me is a snollygoster. What is this?
I don't know, but I resemble that.
You
do? I guess so. I'll take it. I guess they want to call me a snollygoster.
Wait a minute. You don't know what you're agreeing to there, buddy.
I have no idea, but I kind of look like a snollygoster. Whatever a snollygoster is, I kind of look like it, I'm sure. Drewbo says, concrete in your ass? Now, that's a hard ass. It is. It is. That's how you get the rock-solid abs, and then you get a rock-solid ass in Hialeah. Nico says Dolphins need pass rushers badly. QBs were making dinner reservations for that night with all the time they had playing against our Finns D-line this year. Amen? Amen? And they'll get the pass rushers too, man. It's not going to happen overnight. We got to give it some time, ladies and gentlemen. And then, everything's going to work out. We'll be fine.
O-line, D-line. O-line and D-line, man.
Yeah. Without that, you're not going anywhere, dude. Nowhere, unfortunately. That's just the way it is. All right, 786-322-1105. My man Steve Calabro is going to join us here in this segment. We're going to take a break since we are into the final hour of the program. If you want to get in on the show, it's 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. Let me tell you about Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 Toyota volume dealership in the Southeast United States. We love talking about Steve Ostrov and Eddie and Herbie. I mean, Herbie's such a great dude, man. Get over there. Tell him that Big O sent you. I promise you, whether it's Herbie or Eddie, any of the guys out there, any of the ladies out there too. We got great sales ladies out there at Toyota of Hollywood, 1841 North State Road 7. Great programs available, over 1,500 cars and trucks. So that way you got a large selection and you get to pick the car you want, the color you want, the style you want, the model you want, but more importantly, the price you want. They're open till midnight. over 400,000 square feet, state-of-the-art facility. You find it all at Toyota of Hollywood.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
Thinking about buying or refinancing a home? Act now. Home values are ticking up. Don't put off making a move any longer. Call Michael Kodsey now at Choice Mortgage Bank, 561-441-2730, while mortgage interest rates are still at historical lows. Call now to get pre-approved and buy your dream home. If you're currently paying over $800 a month for rent, call 561-441-2730 now before interest rates go up. Down payments as low as 3.5%. Veterans may qualify for no money down. If you own a home, but you're upside down, Michael Kodsey can help. If you're being denied by your bank or your loan process is taking too long, call 561-441-2730. Act now while fixed rates are still under 3.5%. Offices in Boca and Boynton Beach. Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. Equal housing lender. NMLS 122081.
Plus tax, tech title. It includes $8.99 dealer fee on approved credit. Offers end 11/10/19.
Over 1,500 Toyotas are on the ground, and truckloads of new 2020 Toyotas just keep on coming. To eliminate all 2019 models, Toyota of Hollywood is holding the ultimate 2019 model year changeover event. Make us an offer, any offer, and you can buy a Toyota at up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used.
50% less.
A pre-owned 2019 RAV4, not $30,000, $19,775. A pre-owned 2019 Camry LE, not $26,000, $17,775. A pre-owned 2019 Corolla LE, not $22,000, $12,775. Pay up to 50% less at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2014 to 2018 per SET, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
The world's biggest band is coming twice. Metallica. Headlining the Welcome to Rockville Music Festival. 2 different nights, 2 different sets. The weekend of May 8th through the 10th. Go to welcometorockvillefestival.com for all information. Get your tickets on sale right now. The one, the only Metallica. Go to welcometorockvillefestival.com.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big
All right, we're
O
back
Show.
here at Hialeah Park in the beautiful poker room in the second floor. We're having some fun out here. We'll take you till, I don't know, about somewhere here in the 3 o'clock hour. We'll wrap it up. Gabriel Cruz says the Florida Panthers disappoint me every year. It's time to break it up, especially with Trocheck. Gabriel, what they need to do is Dale Talon is the guy, not anybody else. All right? That's the problem right now. That's the guy that's not getting it done is Dale Talon. So we can point to everything else has changed except Dale Talon. Dale Talon's been here 10 years. So that's the real problem. Snollygoster, slang one, especially a politician who is guided by personal advantage rather than by consistent, respectable principles. That sounds like me. All right, I'll take it. I'll take it. The Snollygoster will take you here on the program if you want to get in. Snollygoster, we
You
will.
actually have a lot of integrity there, Bart.
I have none whatsoever. None whatsoever. I am a Snollygoster. That's what I am. I am a Snollygoster. You know who might be a little bit of a Snollygoster? LeBron James. I think he eats like a Snollygoster, apparently. Did you see what Tristan Thompson said about him? So, you know,
I did not, sir.
You know LeBron James is a freak, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
well, you know, he's got money a little out, yeah.
Chiseled body. I mean, the guy is just a total freak, right? So Tristan Thompson, he was asked, so you've hung around LeBron. What does he eat? He goes, he eats a ton of crap. That's right. He eats French toast smothered in syrup. He claims LeBron James has the worst effing diet ever. He says,
what's wrong with French toast, man? That's
LeBron's
awesome.
eating habits. He told The Athletic that saying it's unbelievable how much he can scarf down without losing his chiseled look. Ask him what he eats for breakfast. He's like 5 French toast drowned in syrup with strawberries and bananas. But that's just the beginning. Then he has a 4-egg omelet. Then he goes just effing dunks on somebody. It just doesn't make sense. Of course, there are reports that LBJ spends more than $1 million a year on his fitness, from trainers to chefs to massage therapists. Spending that huge amount of dough must explain why James can eat whatever the hell he wants, and those who don't focus so much on fitness can't keep up. He goes, I remember one year I tried to eat like he ate, and it just didn't work out, Tristan says. I started gaining weight and said, F this. I mean, it works for him. He loves sweets. He loves sweets. He eats dessert and French toast. It's crazy how his body just burns it. He'll come in with a 1-week diet vegan crap, but he'll literally eat like it doesn't make sense. He's a real specimen, yet he eats like I didn't want to say the rest of the S word. If I bring on David Dwork, he'll be happy to drop the S word at least 800 times in an interview. That's for sure. Like he did this week.
I'm calling Dave as we speak. Hold on.
Yeah. Well, hey, when the Panthers suck, you got to get David Dwork on, because then he gets all pissed off and starts throwing S-bombs all over the place. But it is funny how, like, that one of you that was listening, you sent in the text, and it's like the Florida Panthers breaking your heart every year, and it's so true, man. It's so true. It's one of those, and you keep waiting for that next time that you say, okay, they're not going to be the same team that they've been in the past. And bull crap, dude. Wow. They've become the same team in the past. It's frustrating. It really is.
By the way.
Yes.
French toast. Super gourmet. It's real simple, man. You use your eggs, a little bit of milk, obviously cinnamon, French vanilla. That's the secret.
That's the secret, huh?
Little bit of French vanilla.
Okay.
And that's extract, of course.
I mean,
of course.
French toasts are my favorite over pancakes and waffles. Okay.
You use Texas toast, the thick cut bread.
Uh-huh.
Oh man, better than any restaurant.
Well, I got to tell you, this week in the XFL, I went 3-1 in the XFL. Now I went basic this time in the first week. I said, hey, take all the dogs, because I don't know any of these teams, haven't watched any of it, right? So I figured, all right, I'll just take all the dogs, take all the points, and then that way this allows me to, I think, have an advantage here over even Vegas.
Pretty good plan, brother. 75%.
Yeah, 3-1. It was really good. So this week, we got the line now. DC, the Defenders, are favored by 5.5 against the New York Guardians. Now, the Guardians won, and so did the Defenders last week. The Guardians, they beat the Vipers, who suck badly. And then, they've got Aaron Murray, bro, and they're starting Quentin Flowers this week. And he's more of an athlete than anything. But Aaron Murray threw some really stupid interceptions last week. They were asking this week, is he going to get his job back when he comes back? That's how bad it was. Anyway, so DC also won. I like DC over New York, actually, in this game. The point spread is 5.5. I am going to take the DC Defenders. I'm going to lay 5.5. The over and under is 49. I actually think that we're going to get a little bit of defense in this one. So I'm going to go under 49 here in this one. I think they're going to make their share of mistakes. So Guardians, I'm going DC Defenders -5.5, and I'm going the under 49 with the Guardians and the DC Defenders. Why do I say that, by the way? If you're asking me, well, this is why I'm saying it. The DC Defenders allowed 19 points, and the Guardians allowed 3. So I think that they can actually play a little defense. I think they will kind of keep it under 49. Again, this is only the second week, a whole bunch of teams that we don't know. What can I tell you? The Tampa Bay Vipers. Well, the Tampa Bay, I told you that Quentin Flowers is going to start this week. They are favored by 2 against the Seattle Dragons. Both lost last week. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take Seattle because Seattle is home. So if we got 2 crappy teams, I'm going to go Seattle +2 at home against the Vipers. The next one is the Renegades at the LA Wildcats. Dallas is favored by 3.5. Now, I don't know if you know this, Bill. You got to be tuned in here now. Landry Jones is making his debut for the Dallas Renegades. And the Dallas Renegades lost last week because they benched their guy. Because they had their guy benched. He did not play, so they ended up losing 15-9 to the Battlehawks from St. Louis. So Landry Jones is in. Dallas is now favored by 3.5. The LA Wildcats lost 37-17 last week. Houston is actually pretty good. I like Houston out of this group. That might be the best team out of the group, the Roughnecks. We'll see when it's all said and done. But Dallas is favored by 3.5. The Wildcats are a bad football team. I'm going to do this, man. I swear I'm going to do this. I am actually going to go with the LA Wildcats. I'm going to take the points, baby, +3.5. I'll take the Wildcats at home. I don't believe in Landry Jones. Didn't believe in him in the NFL. I'm not going to believe in him in the XFL. They're going to lose. Bob Stoops is going to lose. I'm going LA Wildcats +3.5 in that one. Now, we got the St. Louis Battlehawks taking on the Houston Roughnecks. Not surprised, the Roughnecks are favored by a touchdown in this game. Roughnecks played a really good game last week against LA, the Wildcats, 37-17. St. Louis barely won against Dallas with their backup quarterback, 15-9. I got to tell you something, man. I'm going to go Houston here. I'm going to go brave, and I'm going to lay the 7 with Houston. I'm going to go with the Roughnecks, and I'm going to lay that 7. And I'm getting a little brave here when it comes to the XFL. So here we go one more time. Give me the DC Defenders at home, -5.5 against the New York Guardians. Under 49. I think both defenses will show up, so they'll stay under the 49 points. Tampa Bay is visiting the Seattle Dragons. Tampa Bay is favored by 2 on the road. So it looks like Vegas keeps thinking that the Vipers are going to turn things around. I am going to take Seattle +2. They're home. Dallas is at LA. The Renegades are favored by 3.5. I am going to go Wildcats +3.5 at home. St. Louis Battlehawks are taking on the Houston Roughnecks. The Roughnecks are favored by 7. I think the Roughnecks are the best team in the league. I am going to go Roughnecks -7. I'm going to lay the touchdown in that one. Those are my XFL picks of the week. How about that? So we are ready to go. We got it? All right, let's do this. Now we are going to talk to Danny Johnson. He runs the fan club out of northern Georgia, and it's called the Positive Porpoise. So we're going to have some fun with him. He's an Army veteran. He's a big Dolphin fan. He is out in Georgia, northern Georgia. So he's actually, what's that, Stone Mountain, I think, or whatever the hell it's called? Isn't it, I think, up there in northern, I think it's in northern Georgia. I got to ask Danny that now. Whatever it's called, that rock, that big ass. Well, Danny, what's the name of that big ass mountain that's a rock or whatever up in northern Georgia?
Hey, Big O, how are you?
What's
Thanks
up,
for having
baby?
me.
What's up, man? What's the name of that?
Hey, man, TPP. I hear the world wants to know about it.
No, but what's the name of that mountain or that big ass rock, whatever, in northern Georgia?
We've got one around Atlanta, Stone Mountain.
Stone Mountain, that's it. Are you, how far are you from Stone Mountain?
Brother, I'm on the tri-state at Alabama and Tennessee. I've got more of the Chattanooga area, the Tennessee River, and the Appalachians on my end.
Oh, so you
mountains get bigger where I'm at.
Yeah, and more beautiful, actually. So yeah,
it is. It's gorgeous here. That's
yeah,
true.
I've been there, so yes, it's cool. And I've been there. I've been up in the Smoky Mountains during Christmas time, which it's all lit up and stuff. It's really nice. I like that area, man. That's a really cool
Gorgeous.
area. So Danny, how you doing, my man? You doing all right?
Man, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm loving life, brother. I'm at a casino doing a sports talk show, talking to you, my man. So life is really good. I can't complain.
Living the dream. I love it.
Yes, sir. I am as blessed as they get, my friend. All right, so Danny, how long you been a Dolphin fan?
1969. My first experience was sitting in front of a radio. I was 4 years old. Jets and the Fins were going at it at Shea. We lost that game, as I can recall, but Greasy had the better day. But I was hooked. That was it.
Where were you? Were you in Georgia at that time?
Yes, sir. I was in Georgia, and at that time there was only in the entire South, west or east of Houston, south of St. Louis or Cincinnati, there was nothing but the Falcons and Dolphins, and I wasn't going to be a homer.
Wow. Okay. So what made you not want to root for the Falcons?
I don't know. There was something. I'd say there was just something more about the Dolphins.
Okay.
At the time, like I said, you can look back in history. The Falcons were still very non-existent, and the Dolphins were rocking 3 straight Super Bowls. And so it's I don't know if it's more of a bandwagon jump, but I loved football and I loved what they were doing, and it just, as you know, it caught on big.
Yeah, and listen, there's no bandwagon because you're still on it to this day. So that's not called a bandwagon. That's called a fan, my brother. When we go through the ups and downs, that's why we're fans, because we stick with our team even when they suck or they have terrible years. And we've gone through some terrible times in the last 20 years, but there's plenty of us still here hanging in there and waiting for that day to turn it around, man.
Well, I'll be there. You know it, brother.
No doubt, no doubt. You going out to Vegas with us?
That's up in the air. I had so many plans this year. I'm awaiting the schedule just to see about that London thing, if that's still up, because I had big plans about going over there, seeing some friends. I spent 20 years in Germany and in Europe when I was in the service and all, and London would be very intriguing. So, yeah, if London doesn't show up on the schedule, though, Vegas is immediately on.
All right, so tell me about the Northern Georgia Positive Porpoises. Tell me about that Dolphin Club. How many of you guys, and where do you hang out?
Well, I've got a little guest house that I've turned into a fan cave, so to speak, and a few of us live within a 2-hour drive from each other. We've got one of us is up in Knoxville, Pedro. Shout out to him. We've got Jake Oldham, who's also with Dolphin Addicts. He's up in Columbia, Tennessee, about an hour and a half away. A local friend that moved from West Palm up here, he's one of our admin. It was just wild that he moved within 10 miles. And it just all blew up. It was a bunch of guys that wanted to get together, get away from all the groups that were throwing nothing but hate, all the couch GMs that all knew what was going on. And you couldn't have a conversation anywhere without somebody jumping onto your opinion. And so we just created this little thing that blew up like wildfire, man. It's just been great.
Well,
we started with about 35 people.
Okay.
Still a private group. We're at about almost 1,300. We base things on charities. We donated over $3,000 in 2019 to autism awareness, anti-bullying,
That's awesome.
diverse children's services. So it's all about positivity. It doesn't take much to be nice in the world. It's a lot harder to do bad things, I think.
Oh, you know what? I always say that I think it's a lot harder to be an a-hole than it is to actually be nice. I think being nice is really easy. Being an a-hole, you kind of really got to go out of your way, and you kind of strategize it almost and all that. It's just crazy. But you're right about that. It's always definitely a lot easier to be a good person in this world. And the other thing I've always realized that if you're good overall and you're good to people, the karma comes back. You know what I mean? If you're a jerk, eventually it's going to come back at you, man. It's going to happen.
Oh, man. Just long story short, like I said, it was about 30 of us that were just wanting a little chat room. Big O, it turned into so much more. I ended up going down to Miami to 3 games this year. I was at Fan Club Weekend. Shout out to Jared Weiss. He took me during the Buffalo game to meet Mark Duper at his suite. So these are things that just would have never, ever happened. It all happened but through positivity and just doing right things. I wasn't expecting anything, so it was all huge surprises, but really a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, no, I can imagine there would be a blessing in disguise. Danny Johnson, by the way, from the Northern Georgia Dolphin Club called Positive Porpoise. So I see what you were talking about, positive and donations and all of that. Is that what inspired the name Positive Porpoise?
Actually, it was another Dolphins group that I used to do a monthly segment on somebody that just had positivity. And I called it the Positive Porpoise. And then I sprung out from that and just started this here. And it's like I said, it just moved on to so much more. We've been giving away weekly fins, gear, and prizes, jerseys, hats, all kinds of stuff since before the preseason last season, every week. And we've held it up through the off season. And it's just nice to do this. Like I say, it's pretty easy to make somebody smile, and it's a pretty cool thing too.
Oh, no doubt about that. So, Danny, how many trips do you guys make a year, or do you do it every couple of years? How many times do you guys travel for the team?
I've literally been to more away games than home games in my life, brother.
I can imagine where you live. Yeah.
I've actually seen him in Berlin, Germany. Mark Duper and I, we were talking about that. He was just cracking up. I drove through East Germany back in the day just to go see that game. The wall had fell, but it was still sort of eerie. And but yeah, I've seen him in Cincinnati, of course, multiple times in Atlanta, Tennessee. Saw the Man Campbell game. It was amazing, and been to Tennessee about 3 times. There's not a lot locally. They don't come to Carolina, but every 8 years because the AFC NFC game. But there's a lot more locally planned. I do want to do the MetLife Takeover. That's one that's on my bucket.
I'm actually going to do that this year. We're going to go. Bill and I are going to go out to the MetLife Takeover so we can broadcast from out there and go do that experience and go hang out. We want to do that one and then go back to Vegas again later on this year for the Raiders and the Dolphins. Because I mean, you got to admit, Danny, that is the one stop for all of us now. That the Raiders have gone to Vegas. It doesn't matter if you're a Dolphins fan, if you're a Bucs fan, if you're a Packers fan, whatever. If your team's going to Vegas to take on the Raiders, that's a fun trip for any NFL fan. And for us Dolphin fans, that's going to be pretty cool if we get to go to Vegas twice this year.
Oh, that's amazing. I actually have a friend out there that about 3 years ago when all this was going down with Las Vegas said that he had heard a rumor that they were going to open the stadium against the Dolphins. So, wow, that might be opening day.
Wow. That would be cool, actually. Yeah, because
so
they haven't put out the dates yet. So he might be right. We have no idea when they're going to be out. We're hoping personally that they've got like back-to-back West Coast games out there. So that way we could kind of go out for like 9 days or something and do 2 games. You know what I'm saying?
Optimal.
Yeah, exactly. And at the same time, probably enjoy a couple of good concerts while we're out there because, that's a requirement in my life that if I can rock out a little bit, while I'm on the road. I always like to do that. I don't know about you. I don't know how much of a music fanatic you are, if you are a music fanatic at all.
I roadied for some of the big bands back in the 80s in Germany.
Really? What
Yes,
bands
sir.
what bands were you roadie for in huh?
Monsters of Rock set up in Mannheim, Germany. 85,000 people. Everybody from Guns N' Roses to Metallica to Bon Jovi,
That's
Nine
awesome.
Inch Nails.
Wow.
Just crazy. All these guys. Kid Row. Got to hang out with all these guys. They were nuts.
Nice. What's give me your favorite memory and one that you can actually talk about?
Good question there. In that category, there were so many.
I've been backstage. I've been backstage several times, and a lot of times I can't talk about some of the things that I've seen backstage. But in this case, I'm just wondering anything that you can actually talk about.
Well, there was one to where I think everybody thought it was about to be a scuffle between Axl Rose and Sebastian Bach between sets, and the funny part was they both started dancing like it was all set up, and they were trying to piss both their bands off, to be blunt with you. And everybody was waiting for a huge bust out, and I think they were both just pepping each other up for the next act, but it looked like it was about to go down seriously.
That's awesome. And out of those two madmen, so you look at those two, you would think it's possible that they would go at it. You know what I'm saying? But then on the flip side, Bach looks like a jokester. Axl back in those days looked like he was never joking around. So that's actually pretty weird because now I got to tell you,
them too.
Huh?
You pegged them too. You hit both of them on the nail. So that's what made it so awkward.
Right. And here's the weird part, Danny. Look at Axl now. If you watch him on stage, he smiles now more than I've ever seen him in his life, dude. I've caught him joking around with roadies and stuff while they're coming on and off the stage in the middle of an act, and he's screwing around. I'm like, wow, this guy's at least changed somewhat. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how much behind the scenes completely, but you can tell that there's at least, it looks like it's a little different Axl nowadays than the guy back in the 80s and 90s.
Oh, it most definitely is. That guy has went through a lot since the 80s and 90s. That's the deal.
Yeah, that's amazing stuff, man. All right, Danny, so you've been a Dolph fan for a long, long time. So let me ask you, how hard is it being a Dolph fan in those parts?
It's not tough here at all because they're more, like you say, it's the Falcons area. Since the Titans have moved into Nashville, see, I was in Europe for 20 years. I didn't come home until 2003, and I've been home for the past 16 years. The Titans are more popular around this area. Like I say, I'm right here at the top of Georgia, and what they did this year is only going to grow to their popularity. Dolphins fans are here in abundance, more than you know, because like I said, back in the day, every Sunday it was the Falcons and Dolphins were both on TV here. That was the only two they showed when I was growing up.
All right, and it doesn't look like Falcon fans are very, confrontational. They kind of look kind of cool and chill out. They're not crazy like maybe, I don't know, Eagles fans and Jet fans that they're kind of, radical. You know what I'm saying?
They're very chill, and plus, as a Dolphins fan, when you walk up and you say, "You guys came in the league when we did. How many rings you got?"
Right.
So it's always a good conversation. So and lately, that 28-3 lead against the Patriots a few years back, that one's still haunting.
Oh, I would imagine. Oh my Lord,
that one is killing them.
I got to tell you, Danny, I don't really buy what's it called? Quinn. I think he's a heck of a coordinator, but as a head coach, that team is too up and down, and with the talent that they have, that to me is unacceptable. I get it when you're not that good and you're up and down, that's fine, but a team like that's had that kind of talent over the last couple of years, and they're so streaky, that's my problem with Dan Quinn. His teams are way too streaky.
Yeah, that team has an awesome owner in Arthur Blank. He spins for it. That stadium is amazing. and they should have had at least 2 rings out of this talent, and they'll see how tough it is. Ryan may go down like Dan Marino did, never ever get a shot to get back. All that talent around him, and it shows how tough it is to get there.
That's there's no doubt, my brother. So let me ask you, where do you stand on this rebuild, and where do you stand on Tua?
Man, that is a great question, and I'll have to answer it the way I did when we signed Fitzpatrick. I was so upset and thought it was a bad move, and man, I praise it now like glory. Fitzpatrick was the right guy for the job, and I just didn't want to see it. I've not been a Tua lover at all. I'm an SEC fan. I'm a Dogs fan up here in Georgia. So we're not fans of Alabama anyway, but I have watched.
And Danny, don't feel bad, dude. I felt the same way. I thought Fitz was nothing. It wasn't, and I was so wrong.
Right.
That it was the right guy for the move and for what you needed, the transition, and for other guys to develop and all that stuff.
Yeah. And so all that said, I think everything's going the right way. If we pick Tua, I'll be the biggest fan of his that he's ever had. Whoever we pick, we may all be talking for nothing. It may not even be a quarterback. We have no clue what they're going to do. This is that time of year. But it's exciting. It's the most exciting it's been in recent memory. I'm all on this rebuild because we've never did this.
Yeah.
So something you've never done shows that you're not doing the same thing.
Right.
And the same thing hasn't gotten us anywhere 20-plus years after Dan.
Well, that's why I laugh when people tell me, well, Chris Greer's been here for 15 years and the Dolphins haven't done – well, Chris Greer wasn't in charge. Can't you tell? Look what he's done in the last year. No, everything he's done, nobody that's been before him has done stuff like this, trading a second-rounder, making it 2 second-rounders, get Rosen, the deal he made with Parker and then got the extension, then obviously all the trades to pick up all the picks. I mean, there's so many things that they've done that have been really smart, and they've really set themselves up. That's the part I don't understand when people are like, pointing fingers at Chris. It's like, are you paying attention? Because what he's doing, nobody's done here with the Dolphins, and this team is set up now that if you do make the right picks, this is going to be a quick turnaround. It's going to be a quick turnaround.
There's going to be an amazing turnaround. Yep.
Yeah, I really believe that. Probably another 2 years, but it's going to be pretty awesome to watch what's going on here, and I just think they're headed in the right direction. So you're a Greer fan?
Huge Greer fan.
Okay, all right. How about Flores? Where are you now with Flores after watching him win 5 games this year?
Well, I know that his heart's here now, and that's what I was worried about. Anything that comes from up there gets me skeptical.
Right. Yeah.
I tell everybody, we've got to remember one thing. This is the guy that held that high-powered Rams offense a year ago to 3 points in the Super Bowl. Why wouldn't we want it?
Right.
He's surrounded, and people get mad about the firing of the OC and a lot of other things that have happened. I love every move he's making because he's not settling. He's not taking mediocrity, and people are going, oh, this one guy was good enough. Well, good enough isn't good enough.
Exactly.
And Flores knows this, and he's not afraid to make that move, even if it's his best friend.
You know what I tell people, Danny, when they complain to me about, well, why'd they fire this guy? Why are they bringing Chan Gailey? I'm like, first of all, none of us really knew this coaching staff when the season started, and they went on to win 5 games. So Flores must know something to be able to win 5 games. So if he feels he can find somebody better at a certain spot, well, then that's his prerogative, and I got to give him the benefit of the doubt because I got to tell you, Danny, I didn't even think they were going to win 1 game, much less 5 with this talent. And to go out and win 5, that tells me, all right, brother, you know what you're doing. Go ahead, and whatever changes you want to make, go ahead. You've earned the benefit of the doubt in my eyes right now.
It's times like this, Big O, that we realize we're the armchair GM and they know what they're doing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's not. You know what? It's nice to feel that way. I want to have that feeling from here on out because I was kind of tired of the last 20 years when we would see the obvious moves and they wouldn't make the obvious moves. These guys are making the moves that we don't even see at times, and that tells you all you need to know. I mean, they go and find a Preston Williams in street free agency. That, that right there in itself is, a Nick Needham.
Look at this.
There are some real bright spots this year without even draft picks, which is amazing.
Just look at the trades of the number 47 with New Orleans. We got the better 47.
Yes. Vince Beagle, yes.
Amazing kid.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you saw the swag, you were talking about the 5 games we won down the end. The one thing that I saw that I just kept watching was the fire that my coach kept showing, even to the refs. He saw at times it looked like we were getting the shaft.
Right.
He wasn't laying down. It didn't look over emotional to me. And then the way when things went right, the body contact and the eye contact to his players and coaches along the sideline.
Right. Yeah.
And they've got it going on, man. This is sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, although they were reporting that, the team quit and everybody wanted off and that they're tanking and all that, and it was just a load of crap is what they were reporting out there, because this team was all behind Brian Flores. Nobody quit. All these guys were trying, and that's why they went 5-4 in their last 9 games, because that guy won that locker room over. And that's what you want. You want guys that want to play hard for your coach. And that's what those guys did, man. They played hard, and they weren't and everybody that they beat had more talent than they did. Everyone.
Right. It's all about what if. But if there's not a pass interference call in that Jets game, then they go 6-3 down the stretch.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. It's not that I want to get ahead of myself or anything like that, but it was very Shula-esque what happened this year. When you see a guy win with nothing and have to adjust and change things up, and that's Shula, man. That's what we had here for 30 years. The guy that he wouldn't dictate what was going to happen. He adjusted to what was going to happen depending on the talent that he had from one year to another. He wasn't going to run the same offense and the same defense every year if the players didn't fit it. And that's what I saw in Flores. He was a coach willing to change along the lines with their guys, and that to me is what you call coaching. Hey, Eric Rowe, you can't cover on the corners, but damn, you can cover tight ends, and we figured it out. That's coaching, dude. It's coaching.
It is. Discipline, less penalties, all of that adds up.
Yes, and let me tell you, when you commit less penalties and you have less talent than everybody else, that's an amazing feat. Because normally when you're outmatched is when you're committing those penalties and you're committing those stupid mistakes.
Correct.
Yep. All right, Danny, so tell the folks out there, how can we join the Positive Porpoises?
Well, right now we've got a Facebook page where we post all of our news every day. It's called The Positive Porpoise, so it's spelled exactly like that. So look us up. We're more known in the Fins community lately as TPP. It's really it's easier than saying the whole thing out. We've got members from England, the UK, Germany, Mexico. Like I said, we blew up to about 1,300 members, and we're easy to find there, the Positive Porpoise on Facebook.
There you go, TPP. You know me. All right, Danny, thank you, my brother. I appreciate you, man, and I hope you go out to Vegas and hang out with us for the draft, or we catch you again on the West Coast for the Raiders game. But hopefully we'll hang down the line, or maybe at the MetLife Takeover. That one's a for sure for us this year also, my man.
It's definitely going to happen this year, Big O. I appreciate you guys having me.
You got it, baby. You be good, Danny. Thank you.
Fins up.
Fins up, baby. That is Danny Johnson from the Northern Georgia club called the Positive Porpoise, TPP. You know me. Love it. I love it. Speaking of the Raiders, did you see that picture with Mark Davis and John Gruden? They both went to a Las Vegas Knights game. And you know Mark Davis may have the worst haircut that there is on planet Earth, right? I mean, really.
Competing with Mo?
Yeah, definitely Mo. Or Shrimp, however you want.
Bowl cut.
Yes, definitely. So the boys went to hang out. Look at this. They look like they're brothers, bro. Two ugly dudes. Now, notice this picture. Okay, so one guy's got a bowl cut. I mean, it's a really bad haircut, right? The other guy's got a fanny pack. Hey, come on, bro. Fanny pack. What?
I am thinking he's got a shape of an L on his forehead.
Yeah. That's terrible, dude. Terrible. Terrible. Holy moly. But he's grateful because he's got $100 million in his pocket. And you can't argue with $100 million. I mean, you'd make almost anybody your friend for $100 million. Maybe except Jeffrey Loria. I don't know. And even that, some of you may tolerate Jeffrey Loria for $100 million, right? We may tolerate a lot of people for $100 million. Mark Davis.
Well, at least give it a try.
That's a hell of a picture right there.
You know what I mean?
One dude's got a fanny pack, and the other guy has got just a terrible haircut. The worst haircut.
The guy has
$1
million, and he's got a haircut like that. What's wrong with him?
I have no idea what's wrong with Mark Davis.
And it isn't like he lives out in the state, whatever, and he's not in tune. He's in a major metropolis, man.
No, he's no doubt out of tune. I mean, that
big time
with that goofy ass haircut. Come on, bro. That's too funny. And then Gruden with the fanny pack. Gotta love that. What do we got here on the chat board? Let's see. I love FanDuel and DraftKings. Okay, I'm glad you do. Peter's saying, hey, Bill, what time is the gambling segment? We just had the gambling segment. Just a little bit ago. I just did my gambling segment. What do you want me to do? Mark, love Big O's support of the fan. Fins for life. Of course, dude. Come on. Always. Pedro, the fantastic painter, says, you down with TPP? Yeah, you know me. Fins up. Proud to be TPP. I like it. I like it. All right, it is it is that time to wrap it up here on the show.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I think so. I think we've kind of said our piece pretty much. Got a lot of things going on.
Listen, if any of you are going to the game tomorrow,
yes,
hit us up. We want to meet you.
Yeah, if you guys are going out to St. Pete, you live in St. Pete, Tampa area, Orlando, and you watch the show, you download the show, you're going to go over to Al Lang Stadium to watch Inter Miami against Philadelphia for the first game ever for Inter Miami in Pubic. If you want to watch them for the first time, all right, this is your chance. So we're going to drive up there, have some fun.
It's the first road trip for the new car.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty big one, man.
Yeah.
Going to see our team's first game ever.
Drive nice and smooth in the XSE.
I get to go to the home of my soccer origins, my love, the Rowdies.
Yeah. Well, they have their Irish colors there.
Yeah, well, that fits me pretty good.
Yep, exactly. They're asking me where I'm taking you for Valentine's Day.
You know what?
I'm taking to dinner. Let's see. Kim says, thanks for having TPP in the house, Orlando. My pleasure, Kim. My pleasure. And Danny Johnson chimes in. Thanks for having me on the show. Danny, much love, my brother. Thank you. As always, we appreciate it.
Great segment, man. Thank you.
Yes, it's one of my favorite segments we do every week.
Go to Vegas, bro.
Yes, please, y'all. Go to Vegas. Sign up. Meet you there in Vegas. If
you don't go, you're really missing out, man. This is going to
be the most legendary weekend for Dolphins in the last 20, 30 years. Because this is the moment that you're gonna feel like, okay, this is where we turn things around.
We're back. We're back to what we were from our origin, practically.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting. So we thank all of you, first of all, for downloading the show. Whenever you download it, thank you. Send in a text whenever you want on the accidentlawfirm.com text line 786-322-1105. We love you for watching live. We love you for downloading. and supporting. Spread the word, spread the links. Give us the thumbs up whenever you're watching. As always, we love you for it.
Look for us tomorrow. We'll be doing those live on YouTube.
And thank you to Bill. Thank you to John. Yes, exactly. We're going to be out at that Inter game. We'll be doing some live stuff from out there. So go to our YouTube channel, Big O Radio Show.
You know what I look forward to?
Subscribe.
Tomorrow, you doing the live. We just scored our first goal.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. First live goal against the team. I love it, man. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Be good out there. Be safe. And happy Valentine's Day.
We'll see y'all tomorrow.
Come through.